again and pulling it around her like a wrapping. She breathed the moist, warm air, felt the faint breeze, and ran her fingers over the stacked palm fronds. The ache tightened in her back, and her young heart beat with renewed vigor. Her skin was smooth and silky, her breasts firm and round. "He's coming, just as I had hoped." Boldly, she lifted her head and stared him straight in the eyes. The jolt was still powerful, relived as his sharp gaze met hers. Once again she saw his surprise melt into curiosity, the smile curling his lips. Something in his eyes, a reflection of his soul's, challenged yet reassured her. A warmth built deep in the pit of her loins. "Wait, fool. Use your head for once." Men had always been her downfall, as they had been her mother's. He may just be another man. Discover the depth of the water before you jump. She watched him stop and signal his dogs. All the while she stared into his eyes. "Greetings," he called in Timucua. She straightened, rising to her feet. At the sight of her, he seemed oddly starved for breath. The change in his eyes as he took in her high breasts, narrow waist, and long legs was as predictable as sunrise. "Oh yes, I've got him. Assuming I decide I want him." "Forget it," she said, mouthing those same words she'd said so many years ago. "Forget it? How?" As tears slipped past her tightly pressed eyelids and trickled down her wrinkled cheeks, the world she'd once known began to die all over again. Chapter 1. I am Black Shell, of the chief clan of the Hickory Moiety of the Chicaza Nation. But then, truth be told, 10 long years have passed since I ventured out from my people. You see, in their eyes, I am Akeohusa. It means dead and lost in the Muskogee tongue. A more precise term would be outcast. When I was driven from my country long ago, I thought it a divinely bitter irony. The notion of being Akeohusa would have killed a lesser man. At least, that's what I tell myself. It has killed others, generally from despair, loneliness, and guilt. My people, the Chicaza, have fostered the myth that they are somehow superior, that they hold themselves to a higher standard. Such notions have served them well. By cultivating a code of honor, piety, and nobility, they have had fewer scruples about conquest or manufacturing a reason for war over some perceived slight or insult. Only when I was finally an outsider did I gain any understanding of the strengths and weaknesses of such a system. You see, most other nations don't like the Chicaza. They think we're rather prickly and arrogant prudes. At the same time, people fear us because the only thing the Chicaza do better than preening, slapping each other on the back, and lying about our innate superiority is make war. No one takes warfare with the Chicaza lightly. That curious mixture of awe and dislike has served me well during my years as an Akeohusa. I'm not fond of my people either. That fateful day when all the trouble started, I heard the voice of Horned Serpent. It was that terrible spirit being, the great winged snake, who flies up into the summer sky, who told me to run from my first battle. My clan called me a liar when I insisted that Horned Serpent spoke to me. Since the day I was banished, anger has run along my veins like hot liquid. It has spurred me in my wanderings. What does an exile do? If he's of the Chicaza's chief clan, as I am, he trades and gambles. The things I trade consist of luxury goods. Pieces of precious copper, polished white shell, buffalo wool, medicine herbs, and spirit plants, brightly colored feathers and unusual carvings or artwork. As to gambling, I have a facility for games like stickball, chunky, or akbatlay. In addition to those skills, much of my life has been dedicated to mastering the bow. Warriors, no matter what their nation, are a proud lot.